I'm back. Bhargav is back. He is Robert Lewandowski. I'm the Ballon whore. A lot of things have happened. Let's start with Ballon d'Or. Since 2008, Ballon d'Or has been owned by Messi and Ronaldo. Barring the exception, we remember that 2018 Modric won, fair enough. No one has ever even batted an eyelid that why are these fuckers winning everything? But suddenly, Messi wins his seventh Ballon d'Or and shit hits the fan. Everybody's unhappy. Now, my 2 cents on this thing is that Robert Lewandowski was robbed last year because it was cancelled. I don't know why it was cancelled. Everybody played, all the leagues finished, apart from PSG, Liga, which is like, who even cares about it? So when Ballon d'Or was cancelled, but now this year, Robert Dosky or Robert robbed Dosky, he's been robbed again. In my mind, there's no doubt, absolutely no doubt, Lewandowski deserved the Ballon d'Or. I mean, the guy broke 50-year world record of Gerd Muller, I don't know how you pronounce his first name, but he's been absolutely phenomenal. So, Lal, take it over from there. What do you think that is it? Even there's partially fair Messi winning it, but we do understand why Messi won. It's an open vote. This is what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone doubts whether Messi deserved to be nominated. I mean, of course, he was the highest scorer for Barcelona in that season. He won the Copa America after like years and years of trying. So he had a good season. No one is saying he didn't have a good season. My only worry is that it's like I think somehow people are speculating that like Messi and Ronaldo, like they're giving them awards just to keep this battle going and maybe milk it for next still 2 or 3 more years while these guys are still playing. But on an aggregate, like I think we had this discussion before the Ballon d'Or was announced, and you asked me who do I think deserved it. I think on an aggregate of 2 years, 24 months, Lewandowski has been like head and shoulders above everyone else. I think I saw some stat, right? In last 2 years, Lewandowski has scored 117 goals, and the second highest is Mbappe with some 70. So there is like miles, like broad daylight between the first and the second guy in the last 2 years, and it's just crazy, like how. Uh, I mean, at least those guys should have paid some weightage to the cancelled year. And in those, if you had 2 years combined, then there was no doubt in my mind that Lewandowski would have won. Unfortunately, the only thing probably which probably didn't go in his favor is that Bayern Munich didn't win the Champions League. I mean, of course, no one expected Poland to win the Euros or something, but at least if Bayern Munich had won the Champions League, I think they did in 2020, right? The
Yes.
previous edition before Chelsea.
Of
Yeah,
course.
so
Yeah.
that year he definitely was now. But 2021, like probably that's the only thing I would think. But still, I mean, it is what it is. Can't. And I think we are paying too much weightage to Ballon d'Or anyways. I don't think it was this famous or this like people were crazy before this Messi and Ronaldo race began. Before 2008, I don't think people really cared about like who won the Ballon d'Or.
It
But
was
yeah.
prestigious. It was prestigious because I was looking through it, and whosoever has won it, I mean, you like people like Kaka won just before these guys came in, and he was like the big shit. I know Louis Figo won in 2000, and he was the big shit. When I started watching him in Real Madrid, he was already slowing down. He was not that great, but people keep saying the best player in the world. But yeah, it became the biggest thing as you think, and also, I mean, we'll move on from there, but. Also, I'm thinking like the reason Bayern Munich did not win. If you remember, Robert Lewandowski got injured. That's why they didn't win. So, in fact, he should be given more award because he got injured and that's why they lost. Bloody hell, Mike. So let's be honest. I don't know how much you're reading into this next topic. I'm going to get into the independent regulator shit. It's been blowing up. It's blowing up. It's I think started blowing up mid of November. So there's been talk of the town for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, this has been there forever. But then recently, there has been a lot of talk that it might actually become a reality. Because for me, it feels like another avatar of Lokpal. It's a lot of wishful thinking, and I don't know if it's viable. I don't know it can actually become a reality, but let's just say it does become a reality. I think it has a chance of fucking out the Premier League, the cash cow. It can actually destroy it completely because this is England's greatest cash cow, and they're gonna these people can end up cock blocking the Saudis, American investment, and make EPL shell out hundreds of $1 million to people like to the smaller clubs, and I don't know make the replica T-shirt cheaper and a lot of stuff. It's just probably you're
Yeah,
messing up with the capitalism system that is working.
Ye- yeah, my 2 cents on this is like it depends on what is like what will be the task at hand for this supposed independent regulator. Like what will be their objective? Like why do they exist? If that is clear, then the Premier League clubs can vote whether they want the committee or not. If it's just there to like interfere and like just broad terms like oversight and other nonsense, then like I don't think you need it. If there is genuine concern that the top 20 clubs earn 95% of all revenues and the pyramid which fuels the players to these clubs is only earning 5% and it's not sustainable and you need to give back more, fine, agreed. Like, okay, let's make a plan in the next 5 years. How do we increase the pie from 5% to 15% or 10%, whatever it is? Then that's a clear mandate and people can work together on it. But if it's just like, oh, like oversight, football is crazy, blah blah blah, then that it's nonsensical. Then like whoever is on the committee like has his or her own agenda, and that doesn't work for me. So, and anyways, coming back, I think this independent regulator business, it's not a panacea of all the things wrong in the Premier League. Like I think there are enough and more smart people in the Premier League. They just need the balls to take the right decisions. It's as simple as that. You don't need more people. Like you don't need five chefs to cook one dish. If one chef is good enough, they can like make a good dish. It's the same thing here. You don't need layers and layers of like bureaucracy to like pass through hoops and all that. So that's my 2 cents on it. I think if there is a clear mandate, great, like go for it. But if it's not and just like bullshit oversight and that, then doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, what happens when you just if something is working and people are coming to you, and then you suddenly start realizing that if I invest here, I'm going to get a lot of roadblocks. So people start investing somewhere else where there's less roadblocks. There's a reason why Gujarat was prospering, because first, if you remember, that Tata Nano is fucked right now. But yeah, when the plant was there, it was, for example, it was in Bengal. Then Didi kept creating problems for them, and they said, okay, you know what? We're just going to go
Yeah.
there. And Gujarat with open arms. This is what happens. So when this is working, this capitalist system is working, it is working as great as it works. Yes, Saudis will come in, but by not putting them in, do you think they will not be able to invest somewhere else? Like if you don't let them invest, do you think they will be just suddenly become humanitarian? Suddenly, they'll stop doing what they were doing. I don't understand how that will help. I mean, they need to. I mean, just now as we're talking, Ronaldo almost tried to score, but did not score. I missed his, like, 5 minutes before he missed his 575th free kick on the trot. Still can't understand that. He just needs to stop taking those free kicks. But fair enough, he did score twice. A new era started today, by the way, and I'm still not able to pronounce his name correctly. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I don't want to pronounce it incorrectly the way everybody's pronouncing Ragnick. I think it's Raniak, something like that. Ranick.
Raniak.
Raniak, yeah, something like that. So I want to pronounce it correctly. I don't want to be those people, yeah, who just keep pronouncing names incorrectly. Jose. All right. So moving on to this thing, we'll talk about this also. A great thing happened. Very interesting happened. Tim Payne and the Tim Payne scandal, the
Oh,
Hollywood scandal, which is called the Dick Pic Gate. He sent dick pics and a lot of amazing sexting to a female staffer. And this did not happen now. This happened in 2017. Also, people to remember, before the big fucking shit that hit the storm in
sandpaper
Australian
gate.
cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the sandpaper gate happened at the Newlands. So when this guy was brought in, he was supposed to be the clean guy, right? But he was already a dirty guy, and it's not like people did not know. They already knew, and they had already, like, done and dusted with it. It was like nobody needs to know anything, nobody needs to hear anything, nobody needs to see dicks, okay, of Tim Payne. It has come out recently in November. I think a couple of weeks ago, he stepped down from captaincy. He is still playing. Coach Dustin has said that. Well, JL has said that. Well, I'm not even sure, this is blown out of proportion. He should still be playing. He should be still the captain, but I think it's become untenable. So he's off. Cummins already been declared the captain. Steven Smith is back in leadership role as vice captain. I think the only reason Steven Smith was not put back in, because it would have been weird, because the same reason he was pulled out. Then this guy also turns out to be, like, marred in some controversy, and then you put Steven
Yeah.
back, and I was like, what is happening, right? What's happening? So um, both of you guys, Lal, Bikram is not here, but I'm going to ask him as well. So both of you are married. One of the biggest problems is because I've sexted with people. I've said girls generally said send you inappropriate things because that's what you ask for, and sometimes they ask you for inappropriate things. So these things happen normal. So, but the only difference between me and Tim Payne doing it is that Tim Payne is a father, Tim Payne is a husband. So both of you are husbands. One of you is confirmed father. Um, and what do you guys think, that is it really, really bad, or is just, I mean, if he wasn't a celebrity, it's a personal matter, right? I mean, and it was consensual, but now that lady wants some money and stuff, but there was no harassment. It was just consensual stuff was
Yeah,
going
I
around,
think.
which we could have done.
Yeah, I think I like. Let me make it clear. I think there is no. I'm not. No one. I think in their right mind would say that like that's right or wrong or whatever. I think firstly, if like technique. I mean, if you ask me, I'm not supporting what he did. But secondly, if you rightly said it happened in 2017. There were two internal inquiries and both cleared Timpe. Okay, it was not that Cricket Australia didn't know this. Just because a newspaper got hold of this story and they were about to publish, Cricket Australia said, "Oh, let's just like remove him or whatever. Like, just make sure our we are safe and like people don't come at us." If like the point is, if the guy has done something in the past and you've had formal inquiry against him and the inquiry has cleared him, then you can't hang someone twice for the same crime. Like if you have
It's a media trial, mate. Media trials.
it's
That's what it is.
and now I mean Cricket Australia lacked balls by saying that, boss, we know this, like we support this guy. We had, I mean, we are condoning, like this is wrong what he did, and that's why we had this internal inquiry, and we took some steps whatever was required, but we cleared him. Now like there is no separate need for like punishing him again. uh, so my point is, this is hypocrisy. Like just because some newspaper got hold of the story, it's bad enough that you have to sack him. But if the newspaper didn't get the story and Tim Payne continued to play for the next 5 years and retired and won like two Ashes or something, then what? If this newspaper guy got hold of it 5 years later, then what would you have done? Like that's my question. So I think it's hypocrisy. Cricket Australia goes in extremes. Even after Sandpaper Gate, they went into extremes and they were just into like image saving mode and things like that. So yeah, that's what I think. I would not like to comment on. I mean, you're right. This is bordering on the personal life. You can't pick a cricket team captain based on his past, moral values and
Shenanigans.
things like that. Yeah, they have to be the best player and make sure they don't like commit like heinous crimes like murdering someone or raping someone, or like if they have a police record, that's a different issue. But like you can't say that, okay, he's the nicest guy, let me make him the captain. No, it doesn't work. You have to pick the captains on merit of his or her playing abilities, and this is just like going in like different directions altogether.
So, okay, now I'll pass on the same question to somebody who's actually almost as, apart from the talent part, exactly like Tim Payne. He was also captain of some team in his Asansol. He's a father. He has a legitimate child. And now, from that perspective, so let's hear it from the horse's mouth. What do you think about Tim Payne? And do you think whatever the fuck is happening is just justified and the punishment matches the crime, or what the hell is going on here?
I think this is just like a setup to just remove him before Ashes and bring in someone else, because I mean, Australia was terrible in under his captaincy. They lost to India at home. They couldn't even win, even though they played really well. They couldn't win the last Ashes, and yeah, I mean, they were just looking very weak. They were not very aggressive and all that. It's just like how Rahane captained the first Test, right? So so I just feel that it was just a very well timed leak, and all these things. And obviously I think it's blown out of proportion if it was consensual, or even if it's whatever it was, unless it was some kind of harassment or like bordering on
No, it wasn't
uh,
harassment, man. It wasn't harassment. It was just these guys just mucking around, and
yeah.
he was bit more, sexual than her. But it's not like she was saying, "Why are you sending it to me?" There was
and
nothing
and
like that.
I, if I'm not wrong, lot of these kind of allegations have happened before also. It happened with Shane Warne also, I think,
Dude,
multiple
Shane Warne
times.
doesn't sex. Shane Warne just has sex with people, multiple people, randomly.
So, so I didn't see that kind of hue and cry. That's, I mean, it's just a world we are in right now. Everyone is woke, so it's just, yeah, it's just blown out of proportion. And whatever it did, wrong or right, that's a different issue. That's not. I don't think that should concern a person's personal life. Should be taken under consideration, unless again, as you said, he again, as Lal said, that if they had done some crime. But now, yeah, there is no. I mean, right now there is no limit, right? Like, what if you are doing something wrong or right? There is always media trial, social media trial, and everything. So, yeah, it's just difficult. Just difficult for people who are
Yeah,
famous.
I won't be surprised. Like if 1 week down the line or one day before the test match, Joe Root decides to step down because apparently he was a part of the Yorkshire Cricket Club and
Right,
he was a
right.
bystander. He didn't step in and saved Azim Rafiq, so he's like stepping out and like you
By the
never
way,
know. Like
Azim.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, Azim
He's such
Rafiq
a shithead,
also
Azim. Hmm.
got accused of anti-Semitic
Yeah, we
comments or
talked about
something
it. You
like
need to listen to our podcast.
that.
Yeah.
We talked about it already. Not only that, he was
So,
drinking with a 17-year-old girl in a plane and
oh yeah,
accusing
that
everybody
one.
else to
Yeah,
make him drink because he's Muslim. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're drinking on your own, you little piece of shit. And Ronaldo did not score. Yeah. Clear chance.
so yeah,
So,
that's
now that you're talking about Rahane, let's talk about our favorite punching bag, Rahane. Do you think finally his career is over? And will we finally grow up and accept that Rahane was dropped and not say stupid shit like minor left hamstring strain? What?
Just crazy,
Fuck
man. Like
me,
how
man.
these
What is
guys.
happening? Minor. They were so lying. They were like they couldn't even say like hamstring strain. They just said like, can we just say minor because we are lying.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
really
happy
lying.
they didn't
Because he
say
was walking
his
around, running around.
pinky.
He's probably videos moving around.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
running around. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what kind of hamstring
Correct,
strain
correct.
is this thing? You're running around, dumbass.
Yeah, thank God, like
It's.
they didn't say his pinky fingernail has a crack on it, and like that's why he couldn't hold the bat. It's
I
just
think they should
crazy.
learn
I
from
mean,
Australia.
yeah,
They
I
should
mean,
create a dick pic scandal for this guy just to get rid of him.
yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
the right
Just
wing police would I think would probably stone pelt his house and all. So in India, you should stay clear of all these things, and that's
oh
why
yes.
minor left hamstring injury works for us better. But I mean, we should just grow a pair and say that fine, like we dropped him, like he just needs to go back, regain his confidence, and he'll always come back. Like he has been a great player in the past, and the doors are open. Like once he regains his confidence and form back, he's always welcome. How hard is it to say that? I mean, I just don't understand. You're
There
not
is no
dropping him for
form issue.
life,
He
right?
doesn't have any talent. He's already played long enough. It's not like what is next? Mohammad
Yeah,
Do
Kaf
you,
coming back?
I
I'm
I
done.
still have a feeling. I still have a feeling they will take him to South Africa,
they
and
will
he
definitely.
will start the first Test match.
Because Virat Kohli cannot buy a fucking run. That's why.
Yeah, Kohli, Rahane, and Pujara. These three guys have been a problem for the last 2 years, right? In Test matches, surprisingly, only because of our bowlers, we've managed to like eke out results. But I think in the last 2 years, we would have barely scored more than 400 in one or two like innings out of like probably 50 or 100 innings that we would have played. We would have scored like more than 400 like once or twice, which is just shocking. I'm sorry, I'm just I don't have the exact facts, but I'm sure I'll be pretty accurate.
Yeah, we haven't been scoring
Yeah,
that greatly. So let's talk about New Zealand. And before that, we want to talk about after they did amazing in the first Test match. It went edge of the seat thriller before the light came in, but they had before that they had 10 overs to face. They faced 1 wicket to go. They survived. The second Test starts in Mumbai. Azaz Patel, I've never heard of this guy. And now suddenly he's just joined with Jim Laker and Anil Kumble to become the third bowler ever to take 10 wickets. And he's done even better. He's done it in the first fucking innings and he's done it in the first and second day. He's the first person to do that. It's crazy.
And
And what do you think about this achievement, which is already marred by New Zealand getting out on 62, bowled out for
Yeah,
62?
I feel really sad for the poor guy. Like he was about to celebrate and let it sink, and suddenly he's going out to bat, and everything is like washed. It's really sad for him. His teammate should apologize to him. That sorry for stealing your thunder. Like you did a great job. Once in a blue moon, this happens. Like 200 years of fucking Test cricket, and this is just the third time this has happened. That's how rare this is, and this needs to be like talked about. And whatever it is, like it is a very very rare feat, and the guy deserves some, like his share of sunlight. And like these guys really sucked it out of him. Like the day belonged to him, but yeah, people are talking about something else.
Yeah, and also that this is not even just talent related. Like hat trick is
Yeah.
talent related. This is like every other motherfucker will not take a wicket. Then only it can happen.
yeah,
So you can't control other people, right? You like everybody has to not take a wicket, and then you keep taking wickets on the same day. And this is he just hardly ever played Test cricket, and he was born in Bombay. Um,
Yeah.
and he was 8 years old. He was shifted out from here, and he's born in 1988, and he was shipped out to New Zealand in 1996, just like every other Patel dude, every other Punjabi or Gujarati dude just leaves wherever whichever country can take them, they'll go, whichever white country speaking English possibly. So he's come back. It's just pure destiny, man, pure destiny. It's amazing. And in the first innings, he became the first person to do that. Brilliant. Even the second innings, he was pretty good. But now expectations will be very high. He's already 33, but spinners don't have to be too fit. But he's not. It doesn't look very fit to me. So, but
Yeah.
once he goes back to New Zealand, it's going to be like back to square one, because you can't expect him to take wickets there. That wouldn't
Yeah.
happen. So right now, as we speak, it's 140 for 5. I mean, this match is already gone. There's no way they're going to save this. As Bikram was alluded to earlier, that Rahane's captaincy. Do you think Rahane's captaincy was poor in the first innings, or in the first match they could have declared a bit earlier, and they were fairly conservative, and it should
I
have
don't
even
know
come to
about
that stage?
declare. I don't think about declaring early or something. I just think if I was just thinking in my head that day, if Kohli was the captain, he would have been in the face of the bowlers, not only of the opposition. He would be so
exactly.
animated. He would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like he'll have like these talks. He would sledge if required, get into under the batsman's skin, and also intimidate his own bowlers to like just go out and do it. And that's how we won one
And
of that
also,
test matches in England, right? So I think that's the thing. I don't think it was about the time left in the game or something. It was just the intensity which was missing, and it was just a question of one wicket, right? So I think intensity was missing. I
right.
still think the declaration and the time left was still fine.
Yeah. I mean, if Kohli was the captain, he would have taken the same amount of time. If you remember the Lord Test we won, we just had 50 overs. I mean, if everyone was crying like, why is he not
Yeah,
declaring, and eventually we won. But yeah, that's the thing. If you see the match right now in Mumbai or Bombay, they are allowing only 25% of crowd, and he was energizing them. Apart from whatever he does with the team, with that Kanpur crowd, with that rowdy Kanpur crowd, this guy would have killed killed the opposition.
correct,
That guy Ravindra, who actually survived for that long, this was his first Test match. He would have had nightmares if these guys were there. That's the difference. I mean, tactically and everything, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, Rahane would have done something differently. I mean, sorry, Kohli would have done something differently. But the main difference I thought, and as Lal said, that the intensity just drops when Kohli is not there. That's very very evident.
So I think one thing I would say that just to support Rahane, that his lack of intensity, or if that's a negative thing, I don't think it has been a negative thing when he's been a captain. He's been fairly amazing. What I would agree is towards the very end, when the last wicket was to go and Ravi was coming in first match and everything, I think that's the time when Virat Kohli shouting would have definitely made the difference. So I
yeah,
completely agree, and that could have been the difference between a draw and a win. That's the time he comes in like Rahane. Okay, I'm not shitting my pants, but it's Virat Kohli. Your first match, you're gonna die. So that intensity would have worked at that time, because it has been counterproductive for Kohli. Let's not say counterproductive in Test matches, but for Rahane, being calm has also helped India win a lot of matches. So yeah, it's still 0-0. We might actually move on to the shit IPL retentions, which is just bizarre. And at the same time, maybe not bizarre. And when we thought like it's 3 years retaining force, we like it's 100%, like 100%. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is gone. He's just won the IPL. He's finished on a high. He's the god, and he's gonna go. No, the greed has no end, and they have retained this bastard for 3 years. And he's like, I've taken a pay cut. Dude, you're getting paid 12 crores. You're supposed to take a pay cut. You're blocking salary. What is he going to do? He's fucking blind. Like, how is he going to
I
play for
think-
next 3 years?
I'll tell you. I think what CSK and Dhoni has. I think Dhoni doesn't need the money, right? He's minted more than enough money to like.
Fuck that. He
feed off
needs
his
the,
five-
it doesn't need, he needs
So I'll tell
limelight.
you-
He needs everybody. They just
No,
want to
no,
keep
so
accumulating
not-
money.
So my hunch is that he will play one more year, and then what he'll do is he'll like go into the backroom staff, coach, or whatever it is. He'll mentor, whatever you want to call him. He'll definitely not play 3 years. He'll play one more year, and then like figure out who the next captain should be, and then go into the background for the next 2 years. And that's why the quote unquote pay cut is they put him in the higher bracket because after year one, if he retires, then CSK will have 12 crores left to go and buy someone else like Dhoni's replacement. If they would have retained Dhoni for like 4 crores, then they would, after 1 year, if he retires, then they would only have 4 crores to replace him as Dhoni. So in part, to me, I think it's a smart decision. Take him for 1 year, then let him retire, make him the mentor, and then free up the 12 crores and go after because this is a mega auction, like there'll be crazy amount of bids. So there's no point in going after MS Dhoni replacement this year. Next year, you free up 12 crores, there's no big auction, and then you can do a secret deal behind the doors with someone.
Okay, that was a very complicated thing to say because, but I'll not get into that 4 crore thing and the 12 crore thing. But but one thing I'll say, he was never going to accept 4 crore because it's like a ego thing, and people have to see, like, people are like, oh no, Dhoni getting 4 crore. All his fans would have gotten super upset. But he will have to personally rescind the contract. Okay, otherwise legally he's supposed to get paid, but I don't think that's a problem because they'll just probably pay him money anyway, like directly into his bank, but which will not be cut from the purse. They already have tons of money.
Dude, the amount of social media impressions and things like that Dhoni brings in is more than worth 12 crores. Like just him like being on one of the ads of CSK and wearing jersey, that's more. It's like Ronaldo, like we are worried about paying his salary. I mean, the guy tweets something and that's worth like $1 million, right? It's the same thing with Dhoni. So I don't think it's a question of money as much. It's just like maybe in a year they'll make him a mentor or something.
No, it is a question of money because it cannot be cut from the purse. When he gets cut from the purse, their purse goes lower. So it's not directly a concern of money, but as long as he's paid apart from the purse, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But when you pay somebody 17, 18 crores from the purse, it actually completely shortens your goal, like for too high to get more people. So that way it's a concern, it's definitely, because there's a limited purse. Now let's go like step by step, because let's talk about Delhi Capitals. They've retained Rishabh Pant, Akshar Patel, Prithvi, and Nokia. That's amount is 16 crores, 12 crores, 8 crores, and Nokia for 6 crores. The ball is going for the lowest amount. Shreyas Iyer is gone. Anything else you want to talk about Shreyas Iyer? Because that's the one that pops in my face. I think he's himself asked to leave because you can't retain people if they don't want to be retained.
In my mind, I think maybe they made a decision whether it's Iyer or Pant, and they went with Pant. That's as simple as that. Both of them couldn't have stayed in the same team under either's captaincy. So one of them had to go, and of course, Pant is a Delhi boy. You can't leave him, right? So it was Iyer had to go. For me, the controversy was Rabada versus Nokia. To me, Rabada has been more consistent, and on Indian pitches, he's proved that he's the same lethal bowler. Nokia has only played in the UAE, 2 seasons in the UAE. He's not played in India, so it's a punt. I don't know whether that's good or bad. So to me, that was a bigger controversy, to me. And the second, people could argue whether Ashwin or Akshar Patel. But I think they went with Akshar because of his all-round ability and probably he's a better fielder. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Ashwin will be bought by RCB and he'll become the captain and then he'll bench Virat Kohli. That's the whole plan.
Oh, you heard it first.
Everything
guys.
comes
You
full
heard it
circle.
first.
Full circle. Full circle. Life is full circle.
That's
Let's talk
that's
a little
funny.
bit about Sunrisers. I mean, there really was. I mean, isn't that a controversy that you just let see, Lal? You have to understand that when I'm saying that you can't retain somebody they don't want to be. So maybe they had spoken with Shreyas, and Shreyas said, "Listen, I'm not going to be the captain. Let me out. There's two new teams. I'd rather be there." Right. So I think
Yeah, I
same
think
thing has
it's
happened with Rashid. He also did not want because he's always losing there. He's sick of it.
no,
So he
no.
just said,
I
"Let
think
me go."
the no with Rashid and I think with Shreyas also same thing happened because if you're not the first choice retainment or whatever the word is, retainee. I don't, what is that? Okay, so you get very low money. I mean, the first whoever is retained for the first person who is retained, they get the most amount of money. So I think it's just about money, right? Because Rashid wanted to be the first person to be retained,
Yeah, but they
and
want to be out, right? Because of the money. What I'm saying is, it's not
right,
that they didn't
exactly,
want him. Let's be very clear. It's not they don't want Rashid. It's just that
right,
money
right.
situation comes in, and also he's always losing there. He's sick of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
correct.
know about that. I mean, he won a title with, was he with
One.
Hyderabad when they won? I'm not sure. But anyways, my point is,
I
I
don't
think
think he
they're
was with them.
clearing decks. I think they're clearing decks. Something has gone wrong last year between the management and captain and all that. So I think
A lot
Bayless
of problems are happening.
Bayless and Moody are getting fired or something. I don't know. They are completely going for the overall for Hyderabad. Like in my mind, I think I would have kept Rashid as number one, Kane Williamson as number two. Then Kane Williamson does not have that ego that why am I not the number one? Why don't I get 12, 16 crores? Why am I only getting 12 crores or something? If Hyderabad had to massage egos, then this is the way they would have done it. But I mean, you're right. If Rashid says clearly that, boss, I don't want to be there, we'll never know, right? It's speculation. If he has clearly said, I don't want to be here, then it's out of Hyderabad's hands. But
Yeah, it's kind of
otherwise,
funny, right? Because you retain Abdul Samad and Umran Malik. People are like, who are the fuckers anyway in the first place? Nobody would have known Umran Malik unless that one match he played where he was bowling 150
correct.
odd. Otherwise, a complete
Yeah.
fucking unknown. Literally, you can have Bikram. People who know him because of the great yoga institutes he has all over the United States.
Yeah, and I think there was a complaint made by other franchisees that the two new franchises are trying to poach players. This was in the news, especially the costliest one. Which one is it? The
Lucknow.
Lucknow. Yeah, so they are trying to poach players. So this was some of the franchises actually complained about it. But yeah, I mean that's totally fair. I think because it's a limited pool, right?
See, I think Shreyas Iyer and David Warner are like the top pick. I'm pretty sure David Warner is going to become captain one of the teams. That's
I
definitely
think
on.
David Warner will be captain of one and KL Rahul will be the captain of other. Or Shreyas Iyer, one of the
What about
two.
Shreyas Iyer then?
Because actually, it's not
But then
just about the
Scherzer
new
can jump in
franchises.
right in that team and become the captain, where
No,
KL is
yeah,
leaving.
There's
the
still
the issue
RCB
is
who needs
that
a captain.
correct.
Yeah,
There are more
Scherzer will be a
teams who are
captain.
looking for captains. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of captains required.
But if I was the new franchise, I would either go for KL Rahul or David Warner. They've been like the highest scorers for the last 5 years, delivering like tons and tons of runs. It's guaranteed run machines at the top. So if you have to pick like based on performance, I would pick one of those two first before Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
fair enough.
rumor is that KL Rahul is being poached or whatever coerced by the Lucknow team to be the
He's not a
captain.
fucking
That's
child,
the
Mike. He's not a child. Stop using all this coerce and force.
Coach,
Like he
yeah,
wants to be out. He's sick of Kumble.
yeah,
Kumble is an asshole.
correct. If someone is coerced, they don't get 16 crores, right?
Jesus Christ, coerced, Mike. But when you look at Royal Challengers after De Villiers very sadly declared that he's going to be gone, and which totally
Uh-huh.
makes sense to me when he was coming sixth down. That means he was just disinterested. If you're interested in playing cricket and that's the only thing you do, he left the glove work as well. And I'm like, if you're okay with never playing, that means you're really not interested anymore. And that's what was happening. And then his performance obviously took a toll as well. And then he just said, listen, this is it. I'm done. So once he was gone, it was pretty sure that Virat Kohli will stay. Glenn Maxwell, the way he performed. And Mohammad Siraj, the dude, if anybody deserves it, this guy deserves it. Pretty good retentions there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
think
that's
You
proving
know,
out.
that's
Yeah. Go
I
on.
still
Sorry.
feel
Got
bad for
off point.
Chahal. Chahal has been like the best bowler for Bangalore by far, and he's
They can
saved
still
them
keep
out
him.
of.
They can
Yeah,
still
I
get
mean,
him.
but So yeah, I would say that maybe Kohli has lost faith in him. That's why he lost his place in the
I
international
think
side,
it's
and that's
I think you could only keep one when you're
Yeah, I
just
think it's
betting on it.
about the money because you have to do the economics right also because if he would have been the fourth retained player, then he would have got very less amount of money, which he wouldn't have agreed. So, and then you can't retain Siraj for less money, and you
Yeah, you can buy him back,
Maxwell,
right? You can still
right?
I
buy
mean,
him for a higher amount of
Exactly.
money in the
based
auction.
on current form, I think 4 crores would be a good amount for Chahal.
But
You
I
think
think he
that,
was
right? You
not
tell
agreeing.
his wife that. Your wife is gonna fucking punch you in the face.
Yeah, he was not agreeing. That's what I've heard that he was
He
not
is
agreeing.
शादीशुदा now. He wants money. बच्चे करने हैं उसको अभी. Jesus
Uh,
Christ. So
He's
I want to
making a
talk about
career
Punjab, the great team. Let's talk about great team Punjab,
Punjab.
the Mayanks, and obviously it's Mayank's time right now. Mayank has just scored century, another half century, did not get out today. Also played very well, and Arshdeep sing for 4 crores, and they let everybody else go. They're like, okay, fuckers, back in the ring. I thought they would have kept Unatkat, the great Unatkat, who everybody loves.
I think by now
yeah.
Unatkat has played for all 8 teams, right? He's
And
been
made
in
tons
so
of
many teams.
money.
I've lost
So much
count.
money this guy's made. I'm just baffled. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
completely
yeah,
baffled.
And
yeah.
he's
No,
been
yeah, I
playing for
think,
like 10 years now, right? You don't realize he's been playing, he's
yeah,
been
he,
there or thereabouts and played almost in every franchise. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
Punjab
crazy.
did the right thing. Who would they retain otherwise? Like KL Rahul they wanted to retain KL Rahul, but as I said, that he wanted
Rahul
to
said no,
be.
right?
Rahul said
Oh, he
no.
was
Then
not gonna
after
stay,
that,
man. He's had enough. He was done, man.
yeah, I think he was the top scorer in last two IPLs, and the team finished seventh and eighth. So what else he's going to do? So yeah, I think yeah, for them they'll have to. I think for them it makes sense to not retain anyone else apart from these two. Mayank is obviously the star right now of the from all the available people. So it was a good decision. Yeah, but apart from that, I don't even remember who actually did well in Punjab. Shami was there, but Shami again, I don't really like him as a T20 bowler. He takes wickets, but he goes for a lot of runs also. So yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was a
it's definitely overrated. Definitely overrated. So, but you know what? Talking about overrated, we're looking at Kolkata. They retained Andre Russell, and I think last time he performed was like probably like 6 years ago. For 12 crores, he's the first pick. Varun Chakravarti, Venkatesh Iyer. I mean, that guy just become a superstar. And Sunil Narayan, who can't get a place in West Indies team. We can't even like think about him. Very good choices, but I just think the first choice is Andre Russell, paying him 12 crores. I mean, sometimes you just have
yeah,
to
it's
let this
too
guy
much.
go. He's always injured. When does he perform? And he's worse than Shahid Afridi, man. He has no brain. Like, he just comes out and starts hitting every delivery. Like, he wants to like kill the ball. Like, I don't know. I just don't get him. Like, I know he's had this crazy performances because one day just bat hits everything and just. But then I think he's very overrated and he's always injured, and he is
But
very injury prone.
but he has already although he also delivers death bowlers, right? He always bowls to
Yeah,
overs at the back end,
correct,
and
correct.
sometimes he does most of the times like 7 out of 10 matches he bowls decently at that. So I think he's been retained for his all round ability. But the point is, he's always injured. Like, he's never played a full season. Like, he always has his back injury or thigh injury or something or the other. So that's a risk. And Sunil Narayan, like, I think he had a very bad like last 2 3 seasons. Suddenly last season, like off late, he did well, and they retained him. But I think he's past his prime. Like, for me, like Andre Russell is fine. Okay, you think that there is potential and he'll deliver. He'll win you 2 or 3 matches. That's good enough. But Sunil Narayan, I think probably is past his prime, and I wouldn't have retained him. Venkatesh Iyer has won the lottery, right? Played 7 matches in UAE, made India debut, now been retained for like, I don't know, 4 crores, 6 crores, whatever it is. Like, that guy has really turned it around.
My personal view is that Sunil Narine is worth more than Andre Russell, and it will happen. You can see this, whatever happens this season. You will chew your words. Andre Russell either will be injured or will not fucking perform. Sunil Narine will do much better than Andre Russell. So Sunil
I
Narine should be
think
getting
Sunil
12
Narayan,
crores.
Sunil Narayan is only a bowler now, right? He doesn't open the batting, and he doesn't bat anymore. He's lost the ability to bat
Yeah, guess who destroyed Delhi?
completely.
Yeah, I
And
think.
that's 1 in 3 years.
Big game, huh? Big game.
Yeah,
Big game for him.
I think he'll do pretty well on Kolkata's wicket because yeah, I don't even remember what was how was Kolkata's wicket, but yeah, I think they didn't have much choice again. I mean, they had I mean, Morgan. He can't be retained. He's doing jack shit. So yeah, I think they just went with the most. The players who performed well in the last season. I think Naren bowled well, right? If I remember correctly. So against RCB also, I think he took like 4 wickets or 5 wickets, something like that. So yeah, I mean the amounts obviously are high because that's the way retain retaining works. But yeah, I don't think they had much more choice. Probably they wanted to retain some of their senior players, so that's why they went for because you need the core there, right? You don't want a completely new team. And Varun Chakravarti and the Iyer dude, Venkatesh Iyer, they have just started playing, so it's not like they are pros. They have not even played in India, right? So yeah, I think yeah, I mean it's the prices are high, but yeah, I don't think they had any other choice.
Yeah, but when you let Morgan go, which I am not disagreeing with, I'm just saying like you still need a captain, and you can say anything, and which is correct that Morgan is just blind as a bat, just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But you still need a captain. You can't go back to the same shit captain that you had before, and
Yeah,
who's
that'll be
also blind and
interesting.
who's also gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting actually. Who they make the captain? Probably they are trying. I think they are trying to just do a quick fix solution for the next season. Maybe they'll make Andre Russell the captain for that
Are you
season.
fucking kidding me? The guy can't even get on the field. He can't be the captain.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean whenever he plays. So yeah, it'll be
No,
interesting
you
because
can't do that. That doesn't make sense. I mean, come up with something better than that. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. And he
yeah.
doesn't have
So
any captaincy acumen. The guy has no plan. He's just like, oh, hit the ball, hit the ball.
yeah. So let's see. It will be interesting. Let's see.
Maybe they can get Morgan back, in the
On a
because
cheaper
I don't know
price,
who
I
is going to
think
be
so. Yeah.
asking for Morgan also, but there's a captaincy
Yeah.
situation. So Morgan is right up there. Like he's the best captain with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. You have to give it to him for that. Can't see the ball. Absolutely. He's been terrible. Then moving on to Rajasthan Royals. Sanju, my God, 14 crores. Joss Butler, 10. And Yashasvi Jaiswal for 4 crore. There is no Ben Stokes.
It's a good deal. I think the Jaiswal deal is good. I think he would have gone for more than this if he was in the auction for sure.
Yeah.
Um, It Ben Stokes is interesting. I think they can retain him in the auction or go for him, but I mean he has had his issues, right? And he's never set IPL on fire. By the way, he's played in like whatever 2, 3, 4 seasons, but he's never like taken IPL by storm, right? So it makes sense for me to not retain him and Archer. Archer is also injured. They
Yeah,
were
that
an
makes sense.
English team essentially, right? They had like four. Like if England team had a series somewhere, and then there would be no foreign players left in our Rajasthan Royals. So I think they are trying to quote unquote diversify and release some of the Englishmen and get some other nationalities in. But yeah, I
Right.
think I would have picked Butler over Stokes for sure. And Archer, we never know whether he's fit or injured or something. So he's not even playing Ashes, right? So you don't know.
Yeah, I think and like already been on the Sunriser, but when Bairstow played so well, but I think there's been a lot of problem after Bairstow said like I'm not even coming there. I think it's just there's a lot of politics happening there, and Bairstow said fuck you, man. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. I don't want to play there. Already David Warner's gone, so maybe they're gonna form partnership somewhere else in Lucknow or something. Have all the
Right.
kebabs in the evening and destroy everybody. I won't be surprised with that. So the last two teams, the big teams, the Ravindra Jadeja going for 16 crores, Mahendra Singh Dhoni for 12, Moin 8. Gaikwad for 6. So I'm not sure if even it's the last pick, you can still get around 8 because other players are getting so much money. So yeah, in that case, this guy Juven Chahal could have still gotten 8, but I guess he wanted more, and maybe there was a lot of drama. These guys have retained the players we were probably most likely expecting, except Mahendra Singh Dhoni, which I expected he will retire. Obviously, I don't know jack shit,
So
but
they
thank
had,
God Raina is gone. Fucking hell, man.
yeah, I was about to say that. So they had two constants like in the last 10, 15 years ever since IPL, like Raina and Dhoni, right? So, it would have been big core identity shock if both of them left in the same year. Like the fan base is used to seeing Raina and Dhoni, and you can't give them a rude shock. Both of them are gone, and suddenly, it becomes unrecognizable. So
And
at
yeah,
least I'm happy. I'm happy. At least Aina has gone. It's not that they've retained both. So you never know. In the auction, they may buy him again. Who knows? But I mean, at least they've not retained him. So that's a positive. And
Nobody's
I
buying
mean,
Raina. Nobody. Just he's
so
done.
that's
He's toast. He's toast.
yeah. Yeah, and I think
yeah,
Moin has taken over Raina, right? He comes at number three. He plays well against spinners and plays aggressively. So I think they've kind of got a replacement for Raina, and Moin bowls as well. So I think that's a good pick for me.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I
I
think
think
also Dhoni will. Yeah, please go on. Sorry.
I was just saying that I think yeah, that was the rumor or that was the talk going around that Jadeja would be the next captain. So him getting 16 crores, I think it's yeah, it's too much
I
money.
don't think he is captaincy material, but I mean, if that's the case, then I'll be like surprised.
Dude, in
Yeah, because
IPL,
that's
you just have to be. You don't have to be captaincy material. You just made captain. You have Sanju Samson as captain. We have Rishabh Pant as captain. Like this is where standards are really low here.
yeah, I think yeah, but yeah, because that's what we have been hearing, and whatever comes out as rumors generally is true, and that shows also because that's why he's getting 16 crores. Like he's the first choice, and who else will be the captain? They're like all elder, people there. So I think Dhoni will just as you said mentor him in this season, and I think you're completely right about the core because if I don't know whether Dhoni is called Thala and Raina is called Chika Thala. I think Thala is leader and then he is the small like junior leader or something.
Deputy leader or something. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And I mean, people are crazy. Even if Dhoni is not making runs, they like people find ways to
Correct.
justify everything. But sadly, Raina doesn't have that kind of fan following. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think let's see what happens. If Jadeja becomes the captain, it will again interesting to see how it goes
He's not going to become captain until Dhoni is there. That's never going to happen.
next season, not this season, next season.
Yeah,
And
Dhoni's
also
only going to
the
retire if he's just destroy. He just completely gets finished. Then only
no,
retire.
I think he said that he wants to play the last IPL match in Chennai, and that's true also because we have not had IPL teams
For
playing in their
almost
homes
two
for
years, right?
2 years,
Yeah.
right? Because
So how
last
do you
time
know it's going
also
to happen this year? There's Omicron shit is around. I don't know. They will
that's
shut
why
down
there is
shit. Who knows?
3 years contract, so he will wait for 3 years.
Man, this guy's become like Rajnikant, man. This is Rajnikant situation. Fucking hell, man. This become Rajnikant situation. Okay, final one. We're gonna end this in this thing. Mumbai Indians. Rohit Sharma obviously was gonna retain for 16 crore. Jasprit Bumrah for 12. Surya Kumar Yadav, Kieran Pollard. Couple of people have been. I'm so happy that Hardik Pandya finally shown the door and shown the mirror
Yeah.
that fuck off, like just fuck off.
He's not a pure. He can't play as a pure number five or number six, right? If he doesn't bowl, then his value completely reduces. To me, like the interesting pick was between Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav, right? That would have been a really tough decision. Who do you pick? Because Ishan Kishan also can keep, but Yadav, is probably a more consistent batsman. So I think that would have been a really, really tough choice. You're right. No brainer. Rohit Sharma, Bumrah, gone. Those two are anyways going to be retained. Pollard, I mean, he's like, I mean, not Dhoni-esque, but he's been there in Mumbai since inception, right? You can't see a
Yeah,
Mumbai team without Pollard.
statesman.
So it's yeah, he's like an elder statesman in Mumbai. He's probably been longer in Mumbai than Rohit Sharma and Bumrah, right? So he's seen like from 2008
Correct,
how the
correct.
franchise has evolved. So I think that's fine. Like, fine, you give him one more contract for probably sentimental reasons, and he's still performing. He's not like, and he's 33. I thought he's like 36, 37. I was shocked that he's like
It just looks
33.
that way. Yeah, it just looks
Yeah,
that
I
way.
Yeah,
hope he's not like Afridi age, but yeah, at least on paper he's 33. So
yeah,
I'm
that
okay
could.
with West Indians. They look very older. By the way, for me, it's a no-brainer for Ishan or Surya also, because Ishan only performs in one position, which is already Quinton de Kock. So either him or Quinton de Kock plays. He only performs as an opener, but Surya Kumar Yadav performs at number 3, and that is already his position. So I would rather go with this guy. And he has been consistent. Obviously, last season he had this inconsistent situation, but that was the only time he was inconsistent. And Ishan had performed very well the season before, and
now,
he was
yeah,
even worse.
now, correct. Now this guy will be like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ahmedabad snap him up, and he's like, Guju bhai, Ahmedabad captain, not captain, but I think the, you know,
Who? Ishan Kishan?
no, Hardik Pandya.
Oh, Hardik Pandya. Oh, Pandya. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pandya
Pandya.
brothers can go to the Ahmedabad team and rev up
Yeah,
the Guju fan base.
yeah. Interestingly, he said something I read 2 3 days back. He said, "When I bat for Mumbai, I feel an aura." Like what aura?
He said, no, people feel my aura.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he
people
has
feel
the
his
aura.
aura.
He has the
He
aura.
has,
He was talking about his own aura. Like, people have to
yeah.
tell about the aura. You don't talk about your own aura. That doesn't work. So, by the way, this is it. And right now, Manchester United is like, we are the only shit team. 3 matches are happening at the same time. Tottenham is leading. Lucas Moura scored a brilliant goal. Leeds is leading against Brentford. And Manchester United, I was watching side by side. It was just been very dull. Raniak's first half has been like, I don't know, man.
Why did he pick the same team? The same team played 3 days ago. He should have picked like at least one or two fresh legs. I was
He's
hoping
probably
at
gonna
least this
change
guy
things
gives.
now.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
wish
change now.
in.
He didn't want to be like, come across as like the disruptive new person. Yeah.
It's not about
It's the easy
disruptive.
route.
Like, I
It's
mean,
easy route.
you
He's taken
just
the easy way out.
why do you play the same team who played shit against Arsenal 3 days ago, and half of them are like old dudes? How can they
Because
recover
they
in
won at
36
the end
hours?
of the day. The number that digit matter 3-2. Because they were shit, but
What
they
about
won. If they
the
had lost, hmm?
what about the Chelsea match? Did you guys talk about it?
Oh, that was a big upset. I mean, West Ham knocking it out of the park. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about. But West Ham. By the way, I was gonna like I wasn't sure how long this podcast gonna go. I was one of the question I had, which I didn't put. I was gonna ask later.
It's
I mean, to
sad
be
for United fans because West Ham is consolidating number 4. So, it's
today,
going
today,
away.
Shaka Hislop, who when I mean, a lot of people have been very degrading about David Moyes over the last couple of years, and when he was assigned, Shaka Hislop had openly said, including a lot of other pundits, that this is a bad appointment. Why they're getting David Moyes back? They had already moved him for a reason. Now they're putting him back after Pellegrini was taken out of West Ham. And now he actually apologized. He said, I, and including everybody else, they should also do it, because he said, I literally apologized to David Moyes for not only underestimating, but also being like, mildly insulting to him, that this is like not going to work. Because people need to understand that amount of budget these people have, the way he's been performing has been absolutely spectacular. Because whenever West Ham plays somebody, any of the big teams, dude, you're in for it. These people keep going for it. Like, I mean, their budgets are like probably 1/4 of all these people, and they keep thrashing you every time. And Chelsea, you like, bring it on, bring it on. They're like, I mean, if West Ham is playing, I'm already scared. I'm like, fucking, this is gonna be an upset. This is gonna be an upset. And they are number 4, and they totally deserve it to be. And they better fucking finish in number
And
4. They might drop
I was
out.
hoping, yeah, I was hoping Liverpool would draw and fucking like the
Oh man,
last minute goal.
what's happening?
It's
Are you
just
seeing the
crazy.
parallels between 2019, when they had this
Yeah.
all the last minute
They're
wins? Everything will
they're
go for them.
grinding it
Everything
out.
will work for them. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything is
everything.
just working out for them.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. And finally, Chelsea is off the hot spot of the top of the table. I think Manchester City is there at the top. Liverpool is number 2, and Chelsea is number 3. Obviously, West Ham totally deserve to be at number 4. And I don't know where United is. I mean, I can't see them. I have to always scroll down to find them.
Seventh.
You
They were seventh
It's like
few
the
days
worst
back.
situation. You have to scroll on the computer to find these people.
Yeah, I think if by December we are not within like 2 points of the fourth, like then it's going to be crazy because this is the easy, quote unquote, easy run of fixtures because all the teams we are playing now is like bottom half, but there's no easy, like, Watford beat the shit out of us. So, I mean, on paper it looks easy, but I don't know. At least winnable matches, right? So let's see how we do. I just hated, like, I wanted to watch today's match and I was excited, but he named the same team, man. He didn't even make one change. I'm really,
Do you
really
have like a
disappointed.
television in front of you? Because I have television in front of me. It's like I know I'm watching it
No,
like
I
that
don't.
indirectly.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't? Okay, you don't have the setup that way. So, but yeah, it's been pretty
yeah.
boring. So once the podcast finish, you might actually want to watch the rest of it. Hopefully, what are you predicting? Make a prediction, please, for this match.
I think it'll be a nil-nil draw.
Oh my God, don't say nil nil. Just I rather lose than be a fucking nil nil, man. At least have some excitement. Nil nil.
I mean,
I want a 2-2, man. Like go for it. If somebody
that
scores now, it will open up. That's the good part.
if there is a score in the match, then like we would have conceded for sure. So it has to be either like 1-1, or if someone scores, then it has to be against us, and if we have to take something out of it, it has to be 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. It can't be we will not keep a clean sheet unless it's nil-nil.
Oh, okay, fair enough, Vikram.
I think there'll be a last minute winner for us. We'll win.
Oh, jeez, we're not Liverpool. Raniak is not Alex Ferguson.
And Ronaldo only does it in Champions Leagues.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
also
Yeah,
true.
no,
But I mean, he did it against Arsenal, so
yeah.
that was
yeah.
also pretty
I
last minute
actually
stuff.
wanted you guys to talk about the Manchester United and Chelsea match,
Oh, you were
which
talking about
we
that
won.
one. That's I actually felt he was talking about that one only. The Manchester United
Yeah,
versus
because
Chelsea.
No.
we talked about it right before we did it on Saturday, and the match happened on Sundays. We never talked about it. So yeah, that was a good
Yeah, we were
good
expected to
result.
lose, but then that's what happens when you're actually expected to lose. It just kind of releases the pressure a little bit. Interim manager was there.
Yeah, and Carrick had nothing to lose, right? He had already
Yeah.
decided I'm leaving. He's like, fuck this shit, I'll drop Ronaldo. Who cares? Like next week I'm not here. Fuck it.
Apparently, Fletcher was shouting at everybody. Darren Fletcher. He had come down. He's like a director. I was like, who the fuck are you, mate? Like, what is happening? Like, he was down there. He's like shouting at people. It's like, what is
See,
happening? Who
unless
is the coach?
and this unfortunately Rannick does not have a magic wand unless he gets his coaching staff, and he said it'll take 2 weeks. Because it's the same shitty coaches that were there for the three years under Solskjaer. They don't understand jack shit. Like Rannick can write books and teach philosophy, but these guys have to execute and train those players to how to like translate it to onto the football pitch. But there is a disconnect, right? You have a great brain, and it has to be executed on the field. The guys who are doing it are shit. Unless they go and his team comes in to like translate his vision, it'll be a slow process. My problem is this is a like thick, very very busy period. We have like 8 9 matches in this month, and we don't have time to implement his style or philosophy or something, and we'll just lose this. By the time it's implemented, again tough matches will be around the corner. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like really.
it's see, all these things are complicated, but then once people just give in, like they just completely go, like completely give themselves to the philosophy. Something things can happen within a couple of weeks. Your staff is there, players are already there, raw materials there. It's not like it's not like a Tottenham situation with Conte when players don't have any balls. You have to buy balls, you have to install them, you have to wait for them to grow. That kind of situation is not there. But these guys have been so used to like no plan, just go out there, give it to Ronaldo kind of situation.
Oh, by the
So
way, I don't know. I've heard like a lot of rumors. Jesse Lingard now, like Newcastle is after him, and they're willing to pay big money.
we talked about it at the beginning, like how this idiot just thought that now he performed for West Ham, so he's going to be like the first choice for United. I mean, like, he was the only person who was thinking that. He's like Solskjaer. He's just deluded as Solskjaer. It's like, oh, I'm going to be taking United to the top. No, you're not. You're going to get fired, you idiot. That's what has
Actually,
happened.
it's
And apparently he's
United's
been putting out
mistake.
picture with, he should go back
United
to
also
West Ham.
was.
He needs to go back to
Should have
West
been
Ham.
United should have been ruthless, right? They would have pocketed 25 30 million pounds, whatever they were
Well,
paying.
maybe Newcastle will pay. They'll have money.
Newcastle will pay, right? They have lots of money and they need it. Like they are in the
They
like
just won the
bottom. They'll
first match,
get
apparently, other day.
correct first match in 15
Burnley.
matches this season. Yeah, so I think Jesse Lingard will get bag loads of money, and he can have an exit in his contract, right? If Newcastle gets relegated, then Jesse Lingard can be allowed to leave as a free agent. That he can write in his contract and
Yeah, he can go to West
make
Ham.
big.
West.
Yeah,
West.
get big money in 6 months and then make a stake for England next year's World Cup. In
No,
United,
but
he's never going to play.
if he's really ambitious because he says I want to play for United, then he should not go
He's
to
not.
Newcastle. He needs to go to West Ham, for fuck's sake. Take a pay cut, go to West Ham.
But West Ham won't buy him in January. That's the problem, right? So right now, whoever is coming, go with them. And next year in the summer, if you play well, then of course, like people will come for him.
Yeah, Baba, I'm just thinking that, if he goes to Newcastle, it will not have the same impact which he had at West Ham. West Ham coach, everything, team is completely different. You're going to a team which is already like, struggling. It's at the bottom of the league. There's a huge difference. You go to West Ham, that's like above Manchester United, like in top four. There's a complete different aura there. So if we learn anything from Hardik Pandya, so aura is very important. So, but yeah, that's my complete on it. So, but it was a good draw against Chelsea, and I think it also shook Chelsea, and then they fucking lost also to West Ham, which has been particularly good. I always love watching West Ham, and Crystal Palace has also been very exciting with Patrick Vieira. They've done very, very well. Brentford has kind of like dropped off a little bit after this amazing start, and they're right now trailing 1-0 to Leeds United. And Tottenham has scored one goal, and Harry Kane still cannot buy a goal. I think he's to sell his wife and kids. He might buy one, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody's given predictions. So, any last word on? I mean, I don't want to make Ash's prediction already. The cricket match is already gone. You made prediction for this thing. Last question. Matches have started just before anything happens. Before you see any results. United in top four or out of top four this season?
Out of top four.
All right, we've heard it from Lal. What do you think?
Yeah, same. I think out of top four seems very
All
difficult
right,
now.
I just have to pick now in top four. Somebody has to,
Contrary.
throw themselves in. Yeah, I mean, somebody has to say something different. I have no reason to believe they'll be in top four, but I'm just saying, it's not that difficult because apart from the first three teams, it's not like that crazy. West Ham will drop some points.
If we win this, then we are technically only 3 points off top four, right? We are only 3 points behind West Ham. So it's not mathematically that difficult. It's just we have to hope, pray, wish that Conte does not turn around Tottenham, Arsenal, don't continue their good run. We have to pray that other teams fail. It's not in our hands. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's the same situation as India had in the World Cup. T20 is the same situation as Mumbai had in the IPL.
Yeah.
We are just waiting for other people to fuck up, and they won't. And we'll finish. But I'm happy with Raniak. At least we have a genuine coach who understands football like deep in. This is the guy who trained Tuchel and Klopp, who are like the great coaches here. And we're going to see something exciting. Maybe not in this match, but who knows? Things can change very quickly as well. He's probably thinking. He's thinking. No, we can still things can. I want to see what his imprint in this match right now because we are doing podcast. So I was not able to see properly what's happening. But frankly, nothing much has happened.
I'm looking at stats. He's spoken about control like multiple times in his first interview, and it looks like at least there is some sort of
it was better.
Have like 65%
definitely
possession.
Definitely agree.
We've never had.
We didn't look very open. Yeah, we didn't look very open. That I noticed. We didn't look very. A lot of times, just seemed like people just run through us. Through the midfield and then just running all over our defense, which is not working. But now that has definitely.
I'm looking at the stats.
I want Greenfield. I want Greenwood.
Yeah, I wish second half subs. I want to see Van de Beek and Greenwood come in.
All right. Before we finish, I want to see this thing. There's a free kick, and David De Gea is like, hopefully Fred, don't step over him. He'll fall down and not get up. Jesus Christ, what was that all about? I mean, like, just get up for fuck's sake.
Jesus.
And then like, oh, it's a foul. Like your own teammate stepped on him and he did not get up. And it's an open goal. It was just weird shit. And then Mendy was doing weird shit yesterday as well. When Jorginho, who's supposed to be winning Ballon d'Ors, just back passing randomly the shit. So if this goal is scored, then anything is possible. Boom, boom, boom. That's not a great kick. Okay, that's fine. So we are good. On that note, let's see. Hopefully, United wins this game. I am going for 2-0 United, but let's be very agreeable. Like 2-1 could be the GC, but I'm just still picking 2-0 because I have this Raniak impact will come in. Some crazy stuff will happen at the end. Sancho and Ronaldo will score. Who the fuck knows? Even that Jesse Lingard will come in. He has the highest. He's got 38 minutes per goal. By the way, if you see the stats, he has the best stats, the quickest. The most shortest time he's taken to score goals. Whenever he comes in, something happens or something very bad happens when he did the back pass and then they won against us. So the young boys,
So
and this
bring him
thing.
on. Bring him on if you don't want Nidlin.
Oh yeah, something will happen.
Right.
All right. It was good to have all three of us in this podcast, and I believe you're still away from home. You'll be going next. I think by the time we talk next time, you'll be in Bangalore, I believe.
No, not next time, but I'll be in a different city.
Oh yeah, you're still away. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm also planning to come to Bangalore towards the end. We'll talk about it once it's a bit more. But it's definitely on. There are a few things I don't want to talk about on the podcast because somebody else's personal life. So, thanks a lot. Hope you have a good Sunday, Lal, and you have the rest of the Sunday. It's already evening here, and let's see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Everything crossed. Please, United, win this fucking match, man. We don't want another interim coach to be sacked. That'll be very weird. Thank you for
All
listening
right.
for more than
Thank you,
1 hour.
guys.
Yeah, and take care. Have a good evening. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. We'll be here. We'll be back. Bye bye. Respect.